got this hat on because it's like totally, you really don't want to see what's under this cap, seriously. um, laughter Laughter is an emotional reaction. It's an emotional reaction. It can be triggered, it can be aroused by being tickled, something humorous happening, a joke, a story, even a thought. You know, it's a natural phenomenon. It's very important to laugh. But just recently, I just really discovered that that it's also important to have balance, because some things are not really to be laughed at. Some things are not funny. Seriously, you have people that maybe, you know, having pranks and things like that that can be really deadly or dangerous. It can lead to divorce, can lead to injuries, and some things can be like quite funny little stuff, but some stuff really is not to be laughed at. And I realized that so when someone was teaching me that it's important to have balance. When I was a kid growing up in school, like I used to be a class clown, but I wasn't. Some class clowns are smart. I wasn't the smart one. I used to cheat so much where I would write their name on my paper. I was that bad, you know, like I didn't like doing work. I like to laugh, I like to joke. And during those days, during those years in school, as I was being like that, I was treated as a joke. No one never did take me serious. And that kind of left something in me, like, why is I being treated like this? You know what I'm saying? I realized, like, because I was a joke to people. I would make jokes, I would crack jokes, I would, you know, I would really be a joker, you know, like I'm not talking about Batman, that type of joker, no, but I was really like the one to just say things or do stupid stuff, you know. I realized and why I'm being treated like that, because I didn't have no balance. So as me growing up, I have to realize that some things are not to be laughed at, and I realized that sometimes it's just best to really keep quiet. You know, God gave us this gift of humor. And like I said, I must say, like, people who know me personally know that I have an extra dose of humor, you know, but I have to realize that I have to utilize that in a very, very upgrading way, a positive way, I should say, for people. You know, I can bring joy and happiness in people's lives. I have met people who are very stern, very strict, and yet just around me, you know, I'm not saying to give me glory or anything like that or honor me, but it's like around me, it's like they are so happy, they're so comfortable, you know. And I believe that we all have this gift of laughter, you know what I'm saying? The reason I'm doing this video is to shine light, you know, like just to basically shine light. But laughter is an awesome gift. It really is. It's really awesome. Sometimes I may watch TD Jakes or some other pastors, and sometimes when they're actually proving a point on things, you know, whenever they feel happy, they will actually dance. They will actually dance in front of the congregation. It's just a humorous side of everybody, you know, like it's just a humorous side. You can also find this with Joel Osteen. Like before he ever started a sermon, he would actually relax the crowd and get them, you know what I'm saying, just get them in a good, comfortable mood by making some jokes. You know, it's nothing provocative, nothing degrading. It's just him being himself. Laughter is what it keeps us young. You know, it keeps us rejuvenated, keeps us happy. And I have like some funny stories to say. I'm not gonna share all of them with you. I mean, I even had like developed pictures and stuff, and like, you know, those guys that, you know, they do those vines, whatever, like the funny stuff. I used to do those kind of things like way before Vine even exists, like way before I even did YouTube and stuff like that. I would just like do funny stuff, you know, so they had like people, my family or friends nearby watching, and just be laughing and stuff. So but it's awesome. And like, you guys know me personally, well, some do, some don't, but like, even when it comes to YouTube, I realize that, you know, that your life is your ministry. It really is. Like, your life is your ministry. I really enjoy YouTube. I really do. And I also enjoy laughing, but I also see the importance of having balance, you know, having balance in my life. A few times I have been to the zoo, things I have seen here in Milwaukee that is like amazing, just funny. Like, I'm gonna show you some clips, some things at work that I do, and it's just, you know, sometimes I have to take up my phone, like I have to film this, I have to take a picture of this. It's just funny. Like, yeah, well, you guys can just see it for yourself. as I go through the stories of the Bible, and some things we can relate to these Old Testament stories, we can relate to them. Story of Christ, Paul in the book of Acts, Moses, we can look at these stories, Elijah, and just thinking about Elijah and Elisha, I'm sorry, because I get the names mixed up, like the book of Ecclesiastes, like my vocabulary can be like totally off sometimes, so please excuse me for that, but Elijah and Elisha, I believe that's what it is. If it is, thank you, but if not, I'm sorry. But Elisha, when it's in 2 Kings chapter 2, like from verse 1 through verse 6 or verse 7, you can find out Elijah was about to leave. Elijah was about to, God was about to call him home. And from, I believe that, they went to 3 towns, Bethel, Jericho, and I believe the Jordan River. And you can see where his characteristics about Elijah. You can see that, just by reading his story and just like kind of put yourself in his place or in his shoes, or just being with him, you can just really tell about his personality. Like the personality of prophets can sometimes throw people off when you don't understand them, and it's always best to understand people, because you have to relate to them on their level. And that is very vital. Because sometimes we can criticize them when we don't even know nothing about them or what they've been through. But as you can see, just read 2 Kings chapter 2. 2 Kings chapter 2 from verse 1 through 6. And as they were going through each town, Elijah would tell Elisha that the Lord has called me to Bethel, Bethel. I think that's what it's called. Stay here. And Elisha said that, as long as the Lord lives and as long as you live, I will not leave you. So he said, okay. And then next thing you know, you will hear that basically as you read, you'll see that a group of prophets will come to Elisha. It's like, hey, that your Lord, that Elijah is going to take him away. I'm sorry, I take that back. The Lord is going to take Elijah away from you. And the reply of Elisha is so funny, because it's like he kind of seems irritated, like he don't want to hear it, but he understands, like he knows the truth, but he don't want to hear it, because he would basically reply to them and say, yes, I know, but be quiet. It's just his personality. It's like he understands that Elijah's going to be taken away, God's going to take him away from me, but just be quiet. I don't want what I'm saying? It's like, I know about that, but just don't speak about it. Because maybe he was kind of sad or upset, and then people are telling him. So each town that he went to, from Bethel to Jericho, to the Jordan River, it's like prophets will come to him like, hey, Elijah is going to be taken from you. And Elisha's like, okay, I know that, but be quiet. And then again, certain prophets come in, hey, Elijah's going to be taken from you. I know that, but be quiet. So it's like, you can tell where he, just his personality. And even in a widow's son passed away, and she was crying, and Jesus had so much compassion, in which he's seen this, he touched, it basically was like a casket, he kind of touched it and told the son to get up, and he lifted the son up, and you can see that Jesus touched. Everywhere he go, he touched people, whether even physically and also spiritually, he touched them. He has so much compassion, and it's just seeing his characteristics about himself. He was very, very protective, but also careful. In Matthew, I think it was, Matthew chapter 17, verse 27, Jesus was careful not to offend those who do taxes. He even told Peter, to the first fish that you catch, so it will be a coin, and you go pay that for taxes for me and you. And that's what Jesus said. And I find it so amazing that, you read these stories, you can find that there's the characteristics of these prophets, the characteristics of people. You know, going to church, you know, I go to, it's over 100 churches here in Milwaukee, and I haven't been to all of them, but it's been to a few, and you can also see the characteristics of these people, and this just it's so profound, it's so amazing, because we're all different, we're all unique. There's some people that have seen me here in Milwaukee. It's like, hey, you're that guy from YouTube. Not everybody, I'm not like famous like that, but it's like, you know, people acknowledge me, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. You know, we'll talk for a little bit, greet them. You know, they will see who I really am. Like just behind this screen, you don't really know much about me, but in person, you can see something new, something different. You know, and that's why I believe that the message is more important than the messenger. It really is. And you know, sometimes a person's personality can kind of get in the way with that, but it's just understanding them because you love them and you want to really get to know them. It's on a personal level, you know. So when you look at Jesus' life, the prophet's life, Ezekiel's life, you know, you're basically reading, you know what I'm saying, the cover, you're basically reading their story. But when you get to know them personally, and you get to know them personally, you will see them as they really are. So that's just a thing of me doing this video. I was really supposed to make this like maybe 5 minutes, but as you can see, it's way beyond 12. I do this a lot. I'm so sorry, I do this a lot. But I want you guys to take care. Don't forget to smile, don't forget to laugh, you know, be strong, be blessed. But yes, try not to judge a book by its cover by looking at a person's attitude or way. Sometimes people may be having a bad day. Sometimes people are kind of irritated, but just don't forget to smile. Don't forget to lift someone up. You know, I'm not telling you to go out there and prank them or to make a joke. No, just be yourself, because everybody is unique and we all need one another. You know, we all need one another. So you guys be careful. You guys stay awesome, stay loving. And I'll see you guys later. All right.